Yes, everyone, welcome back to 5. Stephen Howson, Joe Bayer, Rio Ferdinand. We have got the England squad and we're going to get Rio's reaction to it. Not many missing out, but a couple of surprise inclusions.
Yeah, I mean, you look through it, goalkeepers kind of spoke for himself, the defenders. Ben White, I'm happy to see him getting there, rewarded for his good performances at your beloved Arsenal.
Oh, decent.
Joe, we missed him, hands up, we missed him.
No, we did. You see the comments going mad in the recent video, innit?
But he's been playing like right back, hasn't he, this year?
Yeah, that's why it's difficult, yeah. For me, yeah.
Reece James, obviously injury, kept him out, which is
Kyle Walker's gone now. There's a couple of injured players here.
But yeah, that's one of the things I'm looking through the squad and thinking, okay, like Kyle Walker's carrying an injury. Calvin Phillips is just coming back from an injury.
Not fully fit. Yeah.
Not fully fit, and you're thinking, okay, but I think that's fine. I think in that sense it's okay. I just feel that it's hard. I'm looking at players that probably are sitting there going, I'm scratching their head. I think Tammy Abraham will be sitting there going, how come I'm not involved?
100%.
Ivan Toney, I got in the last squad, why only in this one?
Yeah.
Didn't get a chance to play. Who else will be looking at it? Ward-Prowse will be looking at this and going, because if you look at the midfielders, Bellingham goes, you know, Mason Mount, Calvin Phillips, you say he's been injured. Conor Gallagher hasn't been a regular at Chelsea.
Yeah, I don't agree with him.
Jordan Henderson, Declan Rice, he's probably sitting there, Ward-Prowse going, I play every week, always solid 8 out of 10.
Exactly.
Give you a lot from free kick set pieces as well. How am I not in that 6?
Rio, what about the defenders, Tomori? My man's won the Serie A. Playing in Europe regularly, playing at a good standard at AC Milan.
Man of the match at weekend.
Do you know the biggest thing for me, I think, is I'd like to know what was said to you. Why was you not taken? And the reasons for it. And I think that's important because I remember when I was told that I weren't going by Kevin Keegan, he said, listen, if you was Brazilian, if you was Italian, you're German, you'd have been playing, you've had 20 caps by now. And I was sitting there going like confused, going, well, we're way behind them teams. And
this is for 2000.
This is for 2000. I was like, but what I would say to all these players that have been disappointed at this moment, this is now the time where you put that manager's face on the wall, every wall in your house, on the doors, and you use that as fuel.
And you did the same thing, and then you moved to United not far after.
Yeah, no, I went to Leeds.
First,
I signed to Leeds, and this catapulted me into being more professional, more driven. That fuel, I used it as, and I think you can't allow this to derail you off your journey as becoming a top player. But there's the Conor Gallagher. You've got to look at where he's come from last season, on loan to Palace. People saying that he should probably leave Chelsea. He's not going to get a chance. The management changes. All of a sudden, he's in and around the team now at Chelsea, and he's on the trip now to a World Cup. It's some journey, that man.
I want to go back to defenders. Chris Smalling.
Chris Smalling, another one.
I still think Tarkowski, I know you didn't both agree, but
it's
Tarkowski's been doing bits.
Who does Tarkowski go instead of here for you? Harry Maguire?
Maguire, instantly.
Okay.
And is Conor Cody playing better than him at the moment? Is Eric Dyer playing
I think that's probably arguable between Conor Cody and Tarkowski.
I think Dyer goes though. I think he offers quite a lot, especially at a free. When you look at...
You've got 2 right backs that are going to centre half.
When you look at Maguire, he's hardly played.
So go on. The only thing I would say about him though, Joe, is that the last tournament where he got in the team of the tournament, he had hardly played going into that tournament. So he's experienced at doing that. But the big difference is he wasn't going in having zero confidence.
I played more minutes than Maguire this year. Yeah?
Well.
I'm sorry, there's no explanation for that. And he's constantly making mistakes as well. You saw him against Germany. I don't understand what's going on. Are we picking on form, merit, a bit of both? What's going on here?
I don't see how Gareth Southgate puts him in a team against Iran, first game, and isn't concerned and isn't worried. Not based on football ability, based on confidence alone. And
that's probably the best game to play him. That's probably going to be the easiest game.
There's no easy games.
That's going to be the easiest.
Listen, you've seen that Taremi is their striker. Plays for Porto. Do your research and look at him, please, guys. Yeah. Scores goals. Scores goals. He'll be a problem. But what I would say is, don't care how good you are, you're going into a tournament, World Cup. No confidence. I don't get it. And you know what? If Harry Maguire goes in there and shoves this back down everyone's throat, good luck to him. I hope he does. If he's the one who plays, yeah. But it's a gamble, man. It's a gamble. Yeah,
Jadon Sancho?
Has Jadon done enough to get in there? Who's going to get in front of him?
Right, okay. I would take that as Jadon Sancho done enough. But then we're looking at Calvin Phillips, Conor Cody, we're looking at Jack Grealish. Henderson, yeah, we're looking at loads of these players. Harry Maguire. Like, if you was like, listen, everyone that is in there is on blistering fire. Like James Maddison, there ain't a man on this earth that's saying, why is he in the team?
By the way.
He absolutely deserves to be in the team. So if you had players that was having that level of form, like if it was James Maddison or Jadon Sancho, you go, obviously, but it's not. You've got at least half a dozen players in questionable form, if not more.
But let's be honest,
including all the wide players. All the wide players,
so.
apart from Saka.
But what I would say is, if you're looking at Saka, if you're looking at Grealish, and you're looking at Sterling, and you're looking at Foden, they've all done more in an England shirt, arguably, than Jadon Sancho. That's why. So they've probably been in and around a much of a muchness. Jack Grealish, Sancho, Sterling in terms of form this season. But he's probably going, okay, if that's the case and they're in and around each other form-wise, who can I trust in an English shirt and has given me the most in an England shirt previously to this? That's how I think he's looked at that situation.
I don't agree with you, mate.
What do you mean?
I don't agree with how you think that's how he's seeing it.
So what do you think? What do you think then?
I just think he's got his favourites and that's it. What he thinks, okay, who's done well for me in the past, whatever. And that's it. He's not really looking at who's playing well on form right now.
Agree.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. But I think if you look at Grealish, Sterling and Sancho, who's actually jumping off the page to you and going, he's been massively better than him out of them three? Or are they all playing a bit similar in terms of form?
Grealish.
What do you mean?
In the last few games, even though he's not assisting and scoring, he's actually been involved.
All right, anyway, that's what we think. That's what Rio thinks. That's what Joel thinks. That's what I think. What do you think?
Does this England squad go deep in this tournament? Do we go to the semis? Minimum. Do we go to the final?
I'm scared when you say that, man. When you say semis, bruv, all these other international teams will just slap us up.
But when I look at the
when I see the Frances, I see.
Do you see the list of centre halves that France have got?
The centre forwards, the centre forwards, strikers, the Brazil team. Firmino doesn't go. Gabriel, your centre back.
France could enter a B team and probably get to the quarters.
It's crazy.
Nice, man. The squads are deep.
Anyway, subscribe. We have got so much World Cup content coming out. You actually don't even believe. You're not going to believe. So hit the subscribe. Let us know. We'll see you in the next one.